YouTube, what is going on, y'all? It is time to give y'all the video that I have been planning for. So right now I'm about to turn this car on, let y'all hear it from inside the cabin. Haven't started in a few days, so let's see what's up. Do I even have my key with me, bruh? There it is. There's the big boy key. Yes, sir. Don't get no better than that, baby. Yeah, we lit. And I need some gas. I got 60 miles to get. Jeez.
Like the odds are against you, I am. And this is time. I do all the things you want me to do.
But over there, boy. Hey.
You keep showing me love. You are all I care about.
Alright, y'all, so it's finally time for me to give you guys my testimony of how the Lord gave me my dream car again, bro. It's crazy. So we have to start way back in the beginning, before I was even interested in Jeeps like that, for real. Now, I've always liked Trackhawks and I've always liked Jeeps, but I didn't want to get one because, I don't know, for other reasons that, you know, that don't really matter right now. But, so, when I had Temple, I went to a dealership here locally in my town, and they had a black, no, what am I talking about, black? It was a gray Jeep Grand Cherokee SRT, and it had the black seats. It had every option I think you could think of, they had it. And I still had my car. I still had Temple at the time. And I was trying to figure out, how can I keep Temple and get this Jeep? Because that would be stupid cold. Like, I would have my Scat, that could be my show car, and then this car could be like the one that I put on the track, because y'all know these Jeeps are like all-wheel drive, and you know they're really good on the track. And so I was like, okay, let me see how I can do this. So I tried everything that you could think of. Like, I was like looking for extra jobs. I was doing everything that I could to try to make it so that I could buy the car, but it just was not, it was just not coming together for nothing. Crazy thing is, actually a few days or a week or maybe even 2 weeks later, the car ended up getting stolen. And what's also crazy is, I found the car. They took it and went to like Greensboro, and they tried to sell it, and I sent it to the people, but I guess the police just didn't do anything about it. But either way, they ended up stealing that one. And so I go on about my life, you know, I'm still in a car dilemma. I'm trying to figure out what to do and what I should do. And actually a few months after that, I ended up losing my job. I was like really in a pickle. And so I had to end up selling my car, which is why I ended up selling my car, because I just needed the money and I had to do what I had to do. And so when I sold the car, I was really sad. I was really upset. But Temple also has some issues that I wasn't telling you guys about. You know, his suspension was a little messed up. The car, it was kind of, the interior of the car was kind of falling apart a little bit. There was some other issues going on. The paint wasn't right. So, and then the wide body kit, I felt like looked okay, but it didn't look like what I wanted it to look like. And so for all of those reasons, I went on ahead and just, you know, was like, you know what, let me just go ahead on, give him to somebody else, maybe somebody who has even more money to invest in him and stuff like that. And I saw him a few weeks later, and somebody bought him from Raleigh. So somebody has him now. I hope y'all take care of my car, man. Take care of my baby. And so through this time, I went a few months without a car at all. Like, I didn't have nothing. So I was just scrolling, and I was, you know what, I was kind of down. I was, because I really wanted a Jeep. Because when I went and I saw that Jeep that they stole from the place, I was like, bruh, I really love this. This is gonna be my next whip, like, no doubt. But yeah, so I was really hype about the Jeep, because I'm like, bro, this junk is nice, it's beautiful. And I really just fell in love for real. And I was like, I need that. That's gotta be my next car. I was really itching. Like, I was like, all right, I want a Jeep. I want a Jeep. I want a Jeep. So I went on a hunt trying to find one, trying to get one. But the issue was I didn't have a job. I had good credit, but I didn't have a job, so I didn't have any way of them. I didn't have any income, and so I'm just like going a few months. I'm down in the dumps. I'm not even gonna lie. I'm upset. I'm kind of like, man, I gotta find something to do. I need to find a way to make money. I gotta do this. I gotta do that. This, that, and the fifth. Ended up, I talked to my uncle, and he let me drive his Honda Pilot so that I could do Spark. So now I still do Spark to this day. So I started doing Spark, and I started making enough money a week to be able to use it as income for real. And the great thing about Navy Federal, and that's one thing I'm gonna tell y'all, if you are self-employed or anything like that, go through Navy Federal, bruh. I'm telling you right now, they don't question you about who you working for and all that kind of stuff. They just want to know your numbers and all of that, and then they're gonna get you approved for real. But so I went and I saw this Jeep at the same place where the first Jeep got stolen. I went and I saw this Jeep, and I was like, bro, this is so hard. Like, I would want to go up there every day. I wanted to go up there all the time. And what happened was it was a Jeep. It was a black Jeep. I can't remember what year it was. I think it was 2014 or 15. But it was black. It had the peanut butter seats. It had the sunroof. It had every option you can think of. And it had 76,000 miles on it, bro. 76,000 miles on it, bro. But they wanted $29,000 for it. Pretty much $30,000. And I was like, bruh, I don't know if I can get approved for $30K. I don't know about that. Because if y'all know, I had money to put with my car when I bought Temple. So even though he was $30,000, I had over half of that to put with it. So I didn't really have to get a loan for that much. But this time around, you know, I had lost my job. I didn't have money like that. And so I was like, bruh, I was just doubting. I'm going to be honest with you. I was like, Lord, I don't know if I can get it. Lord, I don't know if this and that. And I'm like, I don't know what's going to happen. So lo and behold, I applied to get the car, and Navy Federal told me no. They said, oh no. I won't get the Jeep. I went into an even deeper hole and was so sad because I'm like, now I'm carless. I sold my car for no reason, and this and this and that, and I ain't gonna never have a car and this. And mind you, y'all know I'm in a car club, man. Now, I'm not saying they never put any pressure on me at all. That's not what I'm saying at all. If you know, I didn't have a car, but they didn't, you know, I was putting pressure on myself, like I can't show up to the meets, I can't do this, I can't do that, this, that, and the fifth, because I didn't have a car. So I was just like, how am I going to be a YouTuber if I don't have a car? How am I going to be a car content creator if I don't have a car? How am I going to be in the club if I don't have a car? So I was just like, Lord, you got to give me a car, dog. What happened was, in the beginning of this year, 2025, I like I said, I was working for Spark. I started working for Spark in November of 2024. And so I was thinking, okay, I got to be at this job like 6, 7, 8 months before they even, you know, whatever. Before they even classify it as me being able to pay for something. And I'm like, okay, cool. So I'm working. And all this time I'm looking, y'all. I'm looking every day, because what happened was I was hoping that the Jeep that I saw at the dealership would be, you know, would stay there until I could get a job and get enough money. So I was going crazy looking. But when I found out I could do Spark, I signed up for Spark, and then the waiting list for Spark is crazy long, y'all. I put my mom and my brother on Spark like 4 or 5 months ago, and they still haven't gotten a call. I got off the waiting list in 2 months, y'all. 2 months, bro. That's God all day long. That is the Lord Jesus all day long. I'm gonna work in Clinton. I'm gonna call my uncle. I'm gonna see if he'll let me use his Honda Pilot, because like I told you, I didn't have a car. So I'm gonna use his Pilot, and I'm gonna do Spark. So thank God he let me use it, and I started doing Spark, and I started getting paid, you know, all the way up until. So even though I had that money to use, my credit was still taking a hit because of my utilization and things like that. And so I kept trying to apply for a loan through State Employees Credit Union, because that's another place that I bank at. State Employees Credit Union, they told me no. Navy Federal kept telling me no. So I'm like, bruh, this is just it. It's over. It's finished. It's done. And so when I got into next year, into this year, the top of this year, I was like, you know what? It's not gonna matter. I'm gonna get me a Jeep SRT in 2025, bruh. I spoke it. I really did. I spoke it I said it with my chest, gang. I was like, I'm getting a Jeep 2025, bro. But what happened was, I got really sad before I got this car, because the one that they had at the dealership I was telling you guys about, they sold it. And so I was upset because I'm like, bro, that was my car. They sold it. I can't believe they did that. Yada, yada, yada. And so I'm on the hunt. And so I found another Jeep. And if I can find any pictures, I will put that one up as well. I found another Jeep. And this one would have been cold too, though. It was red. It was red. The same color as Temple, y'all. It was the same red, that red lime pearl. Bro, I don't care what nobody say. That's the Jeep the Lord had for me, bro. He had that Jeep for me. I found it in the nick of time. Them ninjas sold my Jeep, bro. They sold it. I contacted that man. I was like, hey, I'm interested in your 2015 SRT Night Vapor, the Night Vapor edition. So it had like the DVDs and the screens in the back. It was decked out, y'all. That joke was cold. I was like, that's my Jeep right there, bro. It's red. It's got the peanut butter seats. And that was my main thing. I wanted these seats, y'all. I was like, I gotta have that. I gotta have the seats, bro. Because ever since I wanted a Hellcat in 2015, those are the color seats I wanted. So, and then at the time, they weren't putting them in the Scat Packs and stuff like that. So that ninja ghosted me for like 3-4 days. I said, this ninja done sold my car, bro. He sold it. And I was so mad, bro. Even my mom, and if you watch the first story from when my mom helped me get Temple, she is in tune with the Spirit of God, but she's also in tune with what God wants to do for me. Obviously, every mom is, if you tap into that side. So she was like, yeah, that was supposed to be your car. God told me that was yours. And I was like, bro, I know, God. I was so mad. So when I got over that, I started going on a hunt again, y'all. And I was like, bro, I gotta find something. And so I went to Georgia. I went to not Georgia. I didn't physically go, but I found this dealership in Georgia, and I was like, okay, they got Jeeps, and they reasonably priced. They're kind of cheap, actually. And so I actually found this one. I found this one in on their website, and I was like, you know what? This one is cold. I'ma save it. So, you know, on Car Gurus, you have a list of where you can just go through and save a whole bunch of cars. So this Jeep was actually on that list. Y'all remember when I told y'all, every time I would go to Navy and ask them to give me a loan, they said no. So I was like, bruh, I don't even know if I can get approved for this Jeep. I don't even know if it's going to go through. Every time I asked Navy, they said no. And so when I applied for this, actually, what happened was the Holy Spirit, I was sitting, this is what happened. Because me and my mom be going back and forth. She be telling me, God's going to do it for you. God's going to do this. He's going to do that. But me, when it comes down to me wanting something, bro, sometimes I have no patience. I have a lot of patience for every other thing. But when it comes down to me wanting something, bro, I'd be like, nigga, I don't care. I want it now. I want that thing right now. So she was like, you gotta have patience. God says he's gonna give it to you. You already spoke it into the year. Just have patience and know that the Lord is gonna do it. So I said, okay, cool. Cool. Oh, okay, cool. So I was just, one morning I was going to work, but I wanted some Starbucks. And I was like, you know what, Lord, I'm going to do this. And if this doesn't work, I will wait until whenever you tell me to pull the trigger on the Jeep. Whenever you tell me, that's when I'll pull it. If this does not work, if this is not your will, then I'll accept it, and I'll wait, and I'll have patience. So when I got to the Starbucks, I had found this Jeep, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna apply to get this amount for this car. And so what I did was, I had been applying just flat out, because if you know anything about Navy Federal, when you go on to apply, you can go through, you can get a pre-approved check, or you can just apply. I can't remember the other way, but there's two ways where you can do it. I had been doing one the wrong way, and so it was where they would just tell me no, but they wouldn't give me we won't give you 50,000, but we'll give you 30 type thing. See what's going on, I'm gonna try it like this. And so when I applied for the big dog loan and I did the pre-approved check, they said no, but they said, but we'll give you this much. And I was like, oh snap, they didn't give me this, but they gave me that. So then I start going on another, that's right, I hadn't even found this Jeep yet. I started going on a crazy hunt. I'm gonna find me a Jeep that costs X, Y, and Z, and this and this and that. And so yeah, so whenever I got the amount that what I was approved for, I went and I started negotiating with different people, trying to see how much I could get off of a Jeep so I can get in this one. So I went online, I found this one through Car Gurus, and I started talking to Muhammad, who was the guy that I work with, and yeah, he got me the Jeep, y'all, and they shipped it to my house. All of that within the confinements of the loan. Everything was covered. The shipping, the tags. I had tags for like 60 days. All of that good stuff, y'all. And that's it. That's how God gave me my dream car again. I was being told no, 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 no. But when I prayed and I said, Lord, if this is not in your will, I will still love you. I will still serve you. And I will be patient. And I think sometimes God just wants to check where our hearts are at. And at the end of the day, I was just like, it is what it is. I'm going to have the money to pay for it, or whatever the case may be. And God got me regardless. You know, when I took away the pressure that I was putting on myself of, oh, you got to get a car for content. Oh, you got to get a car for your car club. Oh, you got to get a car just for you to drive. It was just like, bruh, I want this car because I want this car, and I want to be able to make content. I want people to see how God works in your life. And God was just like, boom, that's it. You got it. And I freaking got it, y'all. And the one that sold, like I said, looked just like this one. Not the red one, the black one. It was black. It looked just like this. And I was so hurt when that car sold, because I'm like, that was my Jeep. So, but now I have my Jeep, and I cannot be more happy about it and grateful. So, yep, that's my testimony. Oh, and to be honest, y'all, I've even bought another car since then. So, I literally have 4 vehicles. I have 4 vehicles right now. So, God is amazing. He took me from selling a car out of a financial bind, because of a financial bind, into being able to live in abundance of having 4 vehicles. Now, I'm not going to tell you it was easy all the time. God never said it was going to be easy all the time. But honest to God, y'all, I'm so grateful for where He has me and where I am in life. Because, man, it was so dark then, because, and it wasn't just because I didn't have anything, but it was because I had started to find validation in the car. Oh yeah, she drive a scat, she this, she that. And I'm telling myself this. But I'm just like, bruh, it don't matter what I drive, I'm still that girl. No matter what it is. So it's just like, God had to kind of give me a reset. Like, hold on, sis, you still my daughter at the end of the day. It don't matter what you drive. Hey guys, my phone, my camera started to overheat because I'm in the sun. But yeah, guys, that's pretty much how I got my dream car, and the Lord is amazing, y'all. I'm telling you right now, if you ever, and I'm gonna say it till I'm blue in the face, if you ever feel like the God is not hearing your prayers, he's not answering you, he's not listening to you, keep praying, bruh. Keep praying. God hears you, he listens to you, he loves you, he wants to give you the desires of your heart. Don't let these people tell you that God is some God who hates you, who's putting his wrath on you, and that's a lie from the pits of hell. And it's not who God is. It's not his true character. The Bible says be slow to anger, quick in mercy. That's who God is. So don't ever let nobody tell you, oh, he don't like you, he hates you, this and that and the fifth. I've sinned too, bruh. If I lived my life thinking, oh, God don't love me, he don't care about me, he hates me because of my sin, that's what I'm going to draw to myself. Period. And that's what I tell everybody, bro. You can't sit up here and think, let me say it like this. If you were in a relationship with somebody and they kept thinking, oh, you a cheater, you hate me, you don't like me, this, that, and the fifth, you going to end up just being like, bro, I can't deal with you. I don't know what you got going on, gang. But that's just not how God is. Christians have done a disservice to the non-believers, or to the people who do believe but they don't want to follow Christians. But anyways, this is not my Katurah's TV channel. If you want to know more about the Lord and how he feels about you, follow me on my other page. I'll tag it below. That's where I put all my Jesus content and stuff. So, but all right, y'all, I'm getting ready to go get me something to eat. So I'll see y'all in the next video, gang. Peace, love, and hair grease. And my hair actually greasy. I'm getting dreads, y'all. Well, I'm getting locks. I'm locking my hair up. Yes, sir. Face card never decline, baby.